Hi guys, Todd with Great Escape Farms here. Today we're making garden huckleberry pie, or as some would call it, wonderberry pie. Today I'm going to talk about where I got my huckleberries from, real briefly. I actually did a previous post on that. And then I'm going to actually demonstrate on how to make the pie itself. So real quick, an overview on garden huckleberries. So garden huckleberry, which is also known as wonderberry and has a botanical name of Solanum nigrum, is a fruiting annual plant in the nightshade family. The nightshade family has things like peppers and tomatoes and stuff like that in it. The unripe fruit and leaves are toxic, so make sure you only pick the really ripe fruit. What you're looking for is a deep dark black purple or almost black color. Last year I planted garden huckleberry seed in my basement under grow lights in February. They grew very well, as they do every year, and I moved them outside in mid-February. After we had a couple frosts in the mid-September, late September time frame, I went out and I harvested the berries. I ended up with 1.5 of the gallon bags. So here's one of them. And what I did is I brought them inside and I cleaned them up. I just rinsed them in water and then I dried them off on paper towels. And then I put them in the freezer here. Put them in the bags here and I froze them. So we'll get into that in a moment. I'm going to measure off 4 cups of those. When I went to the store earlier today, I picked up pie crust because I need that for my pie. And I went out and I picked up these ready-made graham crust things, thinking I could use those. And I know these aren't the best things in the world, but just figured it would be easy. And then I came back and I read the recipe, and you actually have to put a cover on it, a crust cover that is shown right here. So you need a crust cover. So I had to go back out to the store and buy pie crusts. So there's 2 in here, so one will do the bottom and then one will do the top part. So I got 2 boxes of that, because we're gonna make 2 pies today. And I already packed up my pie tins, so I went and just bought some tins here just to get me through today so that I can demonstrate it. And then the other ingredients here, I have some cornstarch, some lemon juice, sugar, ground nutmeg. We use about 1 tablespoon of butter and some salt. And that's about it. I need to measure off 4 cups of garden huckleberries here. And what we're going to do is put water to just covering these, and then we'll bring them up to a slow boil. And we'll cook them until they get soft. Wow. A lot more here than what I figured. I can make a couple more pies. Okay, let me put some water in here, and we'll bring this up to a slow boil, and I'll move the camera and actually check back in then. Okay, so we cooked it, and it says until they're soft, which they are soft right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pour them in. It says to drain them off. And then what we're going to do is put them back into the pan here. And we're going to squeeze them with a potato masher and add other ingredients. Let me rinse all this stuff off so I don't permanently stain everything. Okay, we are back over here at the stove. So next thing to do is take a potato masher and mash this up just to break the skins of these. And I'm hoping to not make too big a mess here. I did this once just to see how well it was going to go, and I did get some spray back up at me. So what we're going to do is mash this. We're going to put in the majority of the ingredients, bring this up to a boil again, and kind of simmer for 5 minutes until it thickens. And then once it thickens, we'll put it in the pie crust, and we'll put it in the oven. Okay, I'm going to say that's squashed enough. Let me leave this in the sink. Okay, here's my 1 cup of pre-measured sugar. Here's a 1/2 cup of pre-measured sugar. Here is 1 tablespoon of butter, already measured out. And here is 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. This is cornstarch, so that's 1 tablespoon. And there's 2nd tablespoon. And the last ingredient, it called for 1 lemon. So I didn't have lemons, but what I did have was lemon juice already. I'm gonna guess that you get about 1/4 cup of lemon juice out of 1 lemon. So this is a 1/2 cup. I'm just gonna estimate it. And that's about half. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump that in. So we're not gonna be precise here, do a little bit of improvising. Let me mix it up just a little bit. And what we wanna do, again, is add heat and stir this up. And we're gonna be stirring it constantly until it thickens. So I'm just mixing it in right now. And I'm gonna do the constantly stirring part over heat. And it's gonna take 5 minutes. I'll do that off air. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. But before I even turn the heat on, I'm gonna pick up my spillage here. Just the longer it sits, the more it's gonna stain in this white countertop. So I'm gonna get that, apply the heat. And once this is ready, I will come back and we'll pick up from there. Okay, here's where life gets interesting for me. So I boiled this, it was a little over 5 minutes, and the point is to get it to thicken up. So that's nice and pie thick there. And I just pulled out 2 rolls of pie crust. We want to unroll it. And we will lay it in the pan. That's about as good as it gets for me. Close enough. So let's go ahead and scoop some in. Okay, not much left in the pan there. I'm actually gonna scoop just a little bit out here. So like I say, I like lots of fruit. I would have to find something else to put in here because that to me doesn't look like much. And while the dough may rise a little, I know the fruit's not gonna rise, so I don't know about all this, but whatever, we'll see what happens there. I've never really made a pie from scratch before. Maybe that's normal. So what it says now is just dab it with a little bit of butter here and there on top, or butter splats. So I'll put a couple of these on top. And we will lay this across the top. Whoops. And we'll crimp the edges here. And maybe not as good as grandma or somebody else would do, but hey, this is about as good as it gets on this farm. So I'll unroll the other one and put it on. The oven just said that it's ready, and I'll go ahead and put these in, and they bake for 45 minutes, and then I'll let them cool, and we'll come back and see what this looks like and tastes like. Okay, before I actually put these in, so I did get the top on the second one, but before I put them in, it does say to poke these with a fork all over, and that's to allow steam to escape. So I'm just going to go around on all these and let the steam escape. I'm also, it doesn't say, but I'm going to put a cookie sheet under these just because I don't feel like cleaning an oven. And if these things for some reason do explode or something, I just want it to be on a cookie sheet and not all over the oven. So that's the one. Okay, it's been a couple hours, and I was thinking about the pie thing. You remember I said there wasn't enough filling in it. When I was getting the when I was getting the pie sheets, they have smaller pie sheets. So I got the largest ones there are, so that might have solved my problem there. If I get a larger pie sheet, I'm sorry, a smaller pie sheet next time, it might be a little smaller. But let me go ahead and cut into this thing and let's see what it looks like. Pull it out. And again, it's definitely thin, but it looks like a fruit pie, and I didn't pull a fork over. Okay, let's try a fork, and we'll give this thing a try. Never had garden huckleberry before. It's similar to blueberry, but what else? Tastes like something I've had before, but it's very good, very good. So next time what I'll do is I'll get a smaller pie sheet or do a big one like this, and just double it up and just do one pie. But it's very, very tasty. So I like the recipe, and I actually have, as you saw, lots more garden huckleberries left. I used about 1/2 gallon bag for these 2 pies, and I had 2 full gallon bags. So I have enough to make Actually, another 3 batches, full-on batches of these. So that's it for this video. If you have any comments or anything, please include it in the comment section, and also consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.